Welcome back, viewers, to our program, The Blessing Connector, as I continue to expand on the topic that we are touching on tithes and offerings from Malachi chapter 3, verse 8. I want you to understand something, as I've been saying before, that God desires to see in our hands tithes and offerings. Tithes, they actually show us our faithfulness towards God's word. When you are tithing, you are obeying because already there is a fixed percentage, 10%. Understand very well, it's fixed. So giving your 10% to God, you are actually showing God that you are a faithful child of God. You are also a good steward of His wealth, and you are returning back in obedience what He said you must return back. So tithe, it's actually showing us how faithful we are, and it also preaches to God how obedient you are to God. So when you are tithing, God says, this child of mine is faithful, is obedient. But offerings, they show God how much you love Him, because it's not fixed. You are the one who has to dip into your pocket on whatever service that you are attending at church, and then you give to Him how much you feel you want to offer to Him in form of worship. So when we are now talking of tithe, tithe is worship, because worship, that's when you express your love unto the Lord. Worship is not much about obedience, but worship is much about how much we love God. So tithing, I said, it's obedience. Offerings, it's a statement of how much you love God. So it's the highest level of worship. That's why many people don't want to give money to the Lord, because giving is the highest level of worship than just singing. Singing is cheap, but you have to go further than singing and dip into your pocket and then give God money in worship. Now, I want to ask one question, that how many people would want a wife that loves you so much by mouth, but she's not doing anything to show you that she loves you? Alright, I can give an example. Tithes and offerings. I said tithes, it's obedience and faithfulness, and offering, it's your statement of love. Now let me give this example. You are married to a woman, and this woman that you are married to, she comes to you and says, my husband, I love you so much. I will never have a boyfriend in my life. I will never do anything wrong to you. And for sure, you see this woman, she's very committed to you. She's very faithful, very obedient. She comes home in a time, even when she goes to work. She comes at the time that we have agreed that she must come back home. She does dishes at home faithfully. She has no boyfriend in her life, and she washes your clothes, irons them very, very well. But this woman, he has never kissed you. This woman, when she's sleeping, she sleeps wearing 6 trousers, maybe 6 work suits on her body. Who would want such a wife? So I want you to understand something. The church is the wife of Christ, and Christ is the husband of the church. But he's shocked that there is a church that is only living in the tithing dimension, but not in the offering dimension. God wants both obedience, and He wants love from us. So we have to tithe and we have to give offerings. So when we look at this woman, she's a tithe type of a woman, because she's obedient, she washes the husband's clothes, she's very faithful, but she has never kissed the husband. She has never shown the husband love. She has never even bought him anything on the birthday or appreciate this man in love. So which means this man is married to a tithe type of a woman. He's not married to a tithe and offering type of a woman, but a woman who is faithful to the husband, and she also kisses the husband, she also shows love to the husband. This man is satisfied because he has bought a tithe and an offering type of a woman. So this is exactly what I'm saying now, that's what we must be to Christ. Christ wants us to come with our tithes and to come with our offerings. So you find out people are just being faithful in offerings. But now I want to explain something where I was saying, why is it there is no movement in your life? There is no progress. All right. I want to give an example of a car that is here. When you get into the car, starting the car. Now let me show you by example. When I start a car like this, I have started the car. Tithing is fixed, and you can even the sound of the car when you are hearing it right now is showing you that we have started. So this is like tithing. I will explain further. But if now I try to start again, you find out like my car, it refuses because I have already given it its last position on the key here. Now you can hear this sound that is coming out. The carburetors, whatever, the injectors, they have opened the engine, so the system is open. Now when you read in Malachi chapter 3 verse 10, it says, bring your tithes and offerings into my storehouse. Prove me by doing this, so that there may be meat in my house. Bring your tithes and your offerings into my storehouse, so that there may be meat in my house. Prove me by this, and see if I will not open the windows of heaven. So tithes opens the windows of heaven. Just like this car, it's still stationary, but all the windows of this car that allows fuel to move to and fro throughout the whole engine of this car is now open. When you start the car, the whole engine is open, the valves are open, the windows are open, and the car, you can just hear by a sound, which is this sound which you are hearing, that the car is started. So tithe just starts your life, but there is no movement on this car here. So there are people who are just giving their tithe, but they are wondering why is it there is no movement in their lives, because they haven't read very well. God was saying you must give me tithes and offerings, not tithes only. So when you are just giving tithes only, you are alive, you are protected by God. You are just like a car with an engine that has started, that has opened its valves, and fuel is now moving right round the car's engine from back to front, front to back, but there is no movement. That's why there is no progress in your life right now as I'm speaking. But I want to go to the second thing, which is very important, that for this car to start to move now, you have to engage it into gear. You see, you can even hear the sound has changed now of the car, that it's now ready to move. And now I must put what is called accelerator. You can come here, because you now see the car is now moving. Why? Because I have released the gears, and I'm now stepping on the accelerator. So if more you want the car to move, the more you must put your step on the accelerator. I'm now offering now. This is offering. Offering now, it is now, when I step on the accelerator, what is happening is, the car is now pouring fuel into the injector. And there is movement. There is beginning to be movement. So tithe opens the windows of heaven, but offering facilitates the pouring. It facilitates the pouring of the blessing, the pouring of the blessing, so that your life begins to move. So many people are testing. Why? Because they started giving them prosperity, but there is no movement. So it's very, very important to make sure that there is movement in your life by giving tithes and offerings. And on the highway I can move 140 kilometers per hour. It's how much I love to be moving and progressing. I will continue with you after the break. God bless you so.